In one of my lucid dreaming guides, I think I was kind of shitting on reality checks a little bit, um, because basically, if you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, reality checking is basically kind of like an addition to your official dream technique. So like, there's no right dream technique. Everyone does like their own cut sort of thing, just whatever gets them results. But everyone generally does, reality checks, and I was kind of shitting on it because personally, how do you expect me to remember to do that throughout the day, every single day for the rest of my life? And especially like when it kind of like takes you out of your momentum throughout the day. Like if you're busy and stuff like that, you're not gonna like remember. Like especially if you're hanging out with your friends and you're like imagine you were on a date and you're like, oh god, gotta check my gotta count my fingers, make sure that I'm still in reality. Like, bro, we're not doing that. And so I was kind of like shitting on it because I was like, look, and I still believe this, that lucid dreaming, to me personally, is an addition to my life rather than my whole life, right? So like I want to make it so like the juice is worth the squeeze, right? I want to make it so that that like it's actually worth doing still. Because if I dedicate my whole life to lucid dreaming, then I may as well just live out my actual life. You know what I mean? Obviously you can't like flying in real life and shit like that. But it's like lucid dreaming, even like the hours that you can, like the maximum hours you can get doing lucid dreaming, like sleeping isn't even that long. And there's some rabbit holes of like, oh yeah, you can do like time dilation, anything like that. But anyway, let's go back to the actual idea. The actual topic of the video is reality checking. Basically, um, I found out there's a really cool way that you can like reality check, and I don't know if like I'm kind of like late to this, and this is how like everyone's like secretly doing it. But when I was like looking on like like Reddit threads about like lucid dreaming or just like some random like communities and stuff like that, I was like trying to figure out like what is everyone doing for reality checks, and reality checks just like put a pause in it. Reality checks can be anything that just makes it so that kind of like takes you out a little bit and makes you kind of like check reality, like make you kind of be like because like your dreams are a bit very different from reality, or they can be. But my personal experience, I'm always like in my body when I'm reality dreaming, lucid dreaming. I'm always like in myself, and I'm always like I'm always like kind of like normal, and everything around me is kind of like the same, like height and shape and all that. Um, but however, like you can do like basically anything for a reality check, and even if like you clock in like your reality check, like I was doing this thing where I was like checking my hands like basically all day for like weeks on end. And basically I got like this one lucid dream from doing just reality checks. And I like in the dream I like checked my hands, and I was like lucid, but my hands like they appeared normal. So I don't think that like you really have to make it so that like when you're checking reality, reality has to be like completely different from like your reality check. But anyway, so I was just thinking about how like how the fuck like these people must be no lives. Like I'm sorry if you like lucid dreaming, like you're big on lucid dreaming, but like these people must be no lives to be constantly checking like reality throughout the day all day, even if it's like once an hour, once every 2 hours. That's still a lot for me. And then I heard some people doing like this sort of like this passive thing where it's like you kind of like reality check whenever like you can remember to, but eventually like I will just forget to do that. And so if you're anything like me, you're very forgetful. Like you do want the result, you just like the work is just not really worth it for you. I found out this pretty cool way to reality check, and I'm gonna like keep on trying to do it because it's very passive for me. It's very easy, and it has actually worked once, and I was like pretty shocked because it worked pretty quickly. I was like, holy shit! Um, and basically, it's gonna okay. This quote's gonna sound fucking dumb, right? But it's really like funny to me, right? Basically, whenever I was in school and my friends would like ask me like, oh yeah, like what do you expect to get on, like what are you aiming for your your test or something, like whatever subject we're in, right? Some person says, oh, I just want to pass. Some person says, oh, I think like 75% will be good. I said 150%. You know why? Because if I aim higher, and then I let's say that I don't even get 50% of like what I originally aimed for, then I still get 100%. The joke being that like you aim for you're aim for the moon, you aim for the stars, right? You go above and beyond, and then if you fail, you're still in that like insane area, right? And so this is what the approach I took for reality checking. Um, because there's this thing called all day awareness. I think it's the fucking gayest thing ever, where you expect a person to, like, disengage from everything in their life and just constantly like make sure that they're not like I'm sorry, but it's like I want to live my life, bro. I don't want to constantly checking if reality is the same. You know what I mean? And even like the strongest of strong, mentally tough monks couldn't do this all day because it's just mentally tiring. Like, there's no way you could do this. It's like being in a meditative state all day. Um, However, I found this. Yeah, and yeah, let me get to my the actual technique. Basically, there's two things, and you're not gonna like this one right now, but I'm gonna do it. I cast the spell of manual breathing and manual blinking, and now you're doing it probably. Now you're probably thinking about breathing and blinking now, right? And this kind of like is a thing where it's like if you try to stop thinking about breathing and blinking, you're just gonna keep on doing it more. So this reality check is actually pretty strong because you can't just do it once and then like basically instantly forget about it. It's kind of with you for a little bit, right? I'm actually manually breathing and blinking now because whatever. Um, and basically what I've seen from this is that throughout the day, I'll just remember to manually breathe and blink because I've also got like some like writing on my like thumb here, and it's like I'm always looking at my hand. So that's the second part of this. To remember to do these reality checks, write something on yourself. Don't rely on like a piece of paper that you're gonna pick up, or like even like the background of image of like your phone or something like that. Write it on your body. Make sure that it will always be there with you, right? Um, just get like a marker. I just wrote fucking like lucid on my thumb so that I remember to actually reality check basically, right? And then throughout the day, and it does last a lot of the day, like most of the day, I'm manually blinking and breathing. And basically, I remember that in this one dream I was having, I was like doing some, I can't remember, I was doing like some random bullshit, but then like, it was like a normal dream. And then I remembered that I had to manually breathe and blink, and then all of a sudden I was just lucid. It was actually crazy because, it usually takes like way longer if you're especially if you're just doing, like, this like, reality checking technique. If that's like your only technique, it usually takes like months for this to actually like kick in to effect. But this one was really easy to do. I don't know why no one's talking about this a lot more. Maybe I'm like, oh, maybe I'm the first person to like, discover this. But it's kind of like it's kind of like a soft core version of all day awareness. And so you're free to take my technique. I bestow this technique upon you, and it is the and obviously let's get into like some questions. Is this mentally draining? In my experience, not really, because if you're ever going to like read something or do something on your phone, like do anything other engaging, then you can generally breathe and blink manually even while doing that for a little bit. And then even if you get to the point where you're no longer doing it, sorry, um it's kind of not a big deal because you're doing it for so long. And another thing that I want to talk about when it comes to a reality check is that if you're doing all day awareness, then your baseline state is always going to be all day awareness. You're always just going to be aware. And so, whether or not that does translate into going into a lucid dream, and being aware in your dream as well, in my personal experience, if you do too many reality checks, you almost like you might actually accidentally do a reality check like it's like a normal habit, but then it will be normal. Like it will be a normal habit to you, and so then it's not even going to seem like out of the ordinary. Meaning that you can just do a reality check in your dream, and you kind of like not even realize that that was a reality check. So you don't want to get to that point. And so the reason why I like this technique so much, like the manual breathing and blinking, is because it's not draining. It's you can remember to do it, but also it's randomized because if you're always like checking, like you have like an alarm on your phone every hour to do a reality check, it may become so frequent that you might just like accidentally like forget to even do it in your sleep. And so like Yeah, this is like this technique is so easy, and Jesus Christ, I don't know why like no one's even thought about doing this before. Maybe I'm just like really late to it, and maybe people are like talking about it, and maybe some like dickhead in the comments will be like, "Oh, like I do this all the time. Like you're not even like that special or anything like that." But I'm just saying that like it took me so long to figure this out, and I'm actually like trying to engage in the lucid dreaming like space, right? And actually like get into this shit. And obviously, like I'm not like a degenerate. Like I stay off the internet most of the time, so I'm not like doing this. I only like go on like fucking like Reddit to like actually see like research and like something like some insight basically, right? Because like this topic is so niche that like there's no one really talking about it besides like these random individuals on like online, right? But anyway, that's my point. Just this. So basically, I mean, you could have clicked off like ages ago. The whole thing is basically write something on yourself that you can remember to do. Manually breathe and blink. Do both at once. Don't even like choose like to do one. And also this translates into getting into a meditative space while going to sleep. I've noticed like obviously your eyes are closed when you're sleeping, right? But if you're like manually breathing while going to sleep, your chance of getting a lucid dream is like way more increased because you're constantly like engaging with it, and you don't even like need to like really like read. Well, I obviously don't want to read, but like if you didn't want to even like read before going to bed, this like manually breathing and shit maybe like mentally tiring enough to the point where it's like you can go to sleep pretty easily because it's like doing it all day and all that. But anyway, it's not like that hard to do. It really isn't. I'm a fucking retard and I could do it. So yeah, that's the technique. Easy, simple, done. Leave a comment if you got questions or something. I think you don't even have questions. That was pretty fucking simple. Let's be real. And subscribe if you want to get more insights like this. And see ya. Um, and now everyone that's clicked off, I want to just talk about where this channel is heading. I did like a bunch of like lucid dreaming content at the moment. I'm obviously gonna still do lucid dreaming content because it's important to me. And I've marked like 5 playlists that I think no matter like what video I make, it will fall under one of those categories because like those are the most important things in my life at the moment. And basically like anything that like comes to like self improvement, all that, like it will like fall under one of those categories and shit like that. um but yeah, I don't want to be like a lucid dreaming channel. I just want to give all like the lucid dreaming content I can, and then maybe shift on to like health and fitness, nutrition, just like random rants that I'll do here and there. Maybe like some actual like maybe like I'll do like some slides and like actually like shows like some actual like information and all that. And so yeah, that's what I really have to look into. And so if you want to subscribe to stick around for that, then yeah, do that. See you, bro.